where we drop onto the elbows. All the way to striking down, deepening at the hip flexors. Now you can pick your feet up and float. Right? So we're back in our folded leaf. And from here I like to just rock a little bit. So pull forward and back. It will be an intense massaging of the hip flexors. Just work with it. Yeah, and feet are about a foot off the ground. So no higher than the hips. And then just try rocking from side to side. So look at your toes from one side to the other. As long as it feels good, you're in the right spot. But this is another way to do down dog, wide straddle, folded leaf. And of course we can come into our headstand here. So just bend the knees, bring the feet together, keep the knees wide, and then lower yourself into a version of the tripod headstand. So notice my hips are not going to be over my shoulders. It's more of a relaxed position here.
What did you say your hips like?
My hips are not over my shoulders. You're doing it exactly right. So it's more rolling towards the forehead than on the top of the head. But this is a much more of a beginner, easier headstand than supporting the weight over the shoulders, the hips over the head. Okay, straighten the arms. Bring the feet back down. Press down for a down dog, so feet are a little bit wider than hips. Notice when you press back and start to ground the heels, you get that nice assistance from the leg loops pulling up through the sit bones. Which is really nice. And then we're just going to walk our feet wide. Press back in the wide straddle. This is different than we're just having, the hips are actually past neutral and going beyond the heels. And then you press back and you're kind of massaging out the sit bones. It's a big stretch to the hamstrings. And now just be careful when you come up. You might be a little lightheaded. The arms come up to the sky, straight up. I know. And then hook them around the swing and lean back. Really good. So we're back in our chillaxin. We take the leg loops in our hands and we push them away, back down to the knees. Not the swing, but the leg loops. Yeah. Push them with both hands. There you go. Very nice, very nice. Sway it out a little from side to side. Neutralize the spine. So typically we would just do folded leaf with the swing and the hip flexors, but we can go from our chillaxin and high diver into that sequence. The leg loops around the groin. Okay, really good. So now we're going to come into some lounges and twists on the floor. So we're going to release both leg loops one at a time. Stay seated. So we never stand up in the transitions. We keep ourselves completely supported by the swing and relaxed. So if you need to adjust, you can come up, get the swing behind the heart, and then sit back down, lock in. So if your hips sink below your knees, we can bring the swing up for you, or you can pull your shoulders down more. So see how it feels good. That's it. So you'll get used to that intensity. So let's just come into some supported twists. So right now we're on number 4. So we're in our sumo squat. So we're going to do semicircular shapes. So we're going to press from side to side. Let's synchronize swim over to the right, press back, and sink over to the left. Now you notice these guys might bop you. So what I do is I just hold them in my hands, like little marionette, little dolls, just to get them out of the way. They're not doing much, but I want you to focus on pulling the shoulders down at the same time. Good. Yeah, so play with it a little bit. Enjoy the sensation of like floating in the space. And the feet are wide enough that we can come into a lunge. So make sure that they're like tracing the outer edges of the mat. Good. If you have nice long legs, you can come on the outside. Okay, that should feel really good on the inner part of the thigh. Beautiful, guys. Nice and mellow. Now after coming into our side lunge, we're actually going to come up into a warrior 2. So in case you don't know the stance, we turn the right heel out, right toes in. We let the left knee track right over the front ankle, and then I'm going to hold onto the leg loops with my hands. This way I'm going to pulse a little bit. I'm going to inhale and come up. Exhale, drop in. Keep the arms engaged the whole time. Inhale, press the leg loops down and come up. Good. So the arms are much more engaged than our normal warrior two. We look over our front fingertips. Inhale, pulse up.
This would be a little low for me.
It's okay. Yeah.
But I don't feel my arms being lifted.
You can bring them up if you like. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it depends on how much engagement. If they were up too high, it's actually really hard and not that much fun. So it's more of like, what we want is the arms to be fully extended and hold the leg loops in your hands. Hold the leg loops in your hands and try it that way, bunch it up.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Now let's switch sides. So we just lean back to come out. Change the feet. Switch to the right, the left knee bent. Right heel turns out. Okay? So here we're going to pulse with the breath. We inhale and just come up. So when we come up, we press down. And then exhale, keep the arms engaged but lower. Really good. We're using the underbelly of the arms. Inhaling up. Keep the spine nice and long and straight. Let the swing hold you as you come down.
One question.
Yeah.
You turn your back leg in or out?
I turn my heel out with the right.
But your left inner thigh.
I spiral it in, but my hips are still facing forward.
Gotcha.
So square your hips to the front of the room here, but spiral in the joint. Yes, you'll feel that activation right there. But the weight isn't going to be hanging in the joint because the swing's holding you. So it's really different. It's like very few people actually do warrior two correctly with the alignment of the hips. So it just depends on what your practice is. Some practices they do actually rotate the hips in.
Yeah.
I actually square the hips to the front of the room. And then this is what's happening in the body. And then the arms are helping us get that full extension. But we're not dropping. You see the spine staying nice and long. Usually people go like this. We're not dropping down into it because we're lifting up. So we're using the tractioning of gravity pulling down, but the swing pulling us up. And that looks good. Can you feel the difference? What happens in the body? Really good, guys. Let's release. Come back. One more time. First side. Right knee bends. Left heel turns out. Full extension in the arms. Inhale, press down and lift. Pulse. Exhale, drop in. Just to that sweet spot. You feel the point where the body's like, oh no, don't go any further. Inhale up. So straight up and down, Bob, if you can. Bend in the front knee a little bit more. Good. Inhaling up. And engage your quads. What is it like to pull up through the quad on this side? Even though we're doing restorative, I just want to focus on the alignment for you guys since you're all high-level players, so you really get it. Inhaling up. Exhale, come back through, switch it. Lean back. And inhale, press. Exhale, lower. Relax on the exhale, right? Inhale. Exhale, I can smell the banana bread downstairs. That's not fair. Almost great time. Inhale again. Exhale back down. Okay, inhale up. Last time, come back through center. Let's just go ahead with a wide straddle. Bend the knees from side to side. Come into chillaxed arms. I call this weeping willow. So heart is pointing up towards the sky, head is leaning back. And we're just letting our bodies sway from side to side. So as much as possible, we let ourselves integrate and pause in between poses so we get the maximum benefit. We want to really be able to absorb and recalibrate whatever changes happen. Particularly in the hips, that was a really strong hip opener. Beautiful. And from here, why don't we go and heel toe the feet together? So we're going to keep the long recline diagonal in the body. And now let's try the weeping willow with the legs squeezing towards one another. Okay, upper body has the freedom to move. Okay, if you want, you can close your eyes and feel like you're swaying through water. So we're moving into the supported back bends and twists. So as long as you feel supported, and you can move further in the back bend, and then at the same time, in addition to the lumbar spine, completely relaxed, so the upper thoracics are arching and opening. And then you're in the right place. Beautiful, guys. Okay, we're going to inhale, send the arms straight back behind you, come to neutral. Exhale, open the arms wide, and then we're going to come into a forearm press. So inhale, forearm press. Exhale, sink the hips down and just hang. Okay? Big hamstring stretch with the feet flexed back. So now we're going to inhale, press the hips up. Now the forearm press is going to take pressure off the armpits, right? So we keep that. Inhale, left knee bends into the chest. Exhale, roll into the outer edge of the right foot. Now step the foot not towards the knee, but towards the hip. So big step up towards the hip, even more. Yep, even more. Yeah, I know, just inch it up there. Now when we twist, we're going to drop the hips down towards the floor. Look back over the left shoulder. So the knee and the gaze are moving in two totally different directions. Okay, beautiful guys. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Nice. So pull the knee in towards the chest a little bit more, Amy, and then drop the hip into that. You'll feel the sweet spot, little tightness along the obliques there. Now inhale, lift the knee up into the chest. Let's change sides. So neutralize the spine. Exhale, drop in, hamstring stretch, flex back. Inhale, press the hips up. Forearm press, right? Right knee into the chest, roll into the outer edge of the left foot, flex that foot back. Foot steps up by the hip. So not to the knee, all the way up as far as you can go. That's it. That's it. So Amy, you're stepping past your hip. That's awesome. There you go. You're like, I got this. And then we're going to twist and drop the hips. There it is. The more you drop the hips, the deeper the stretch. Your gaze is back over towards the right, knee to the left. Ooh la la. You guys feel it? It's amazing. Deep twists. This is a reclined twist. Inhale, lift that knee up. Exhale, drop the hips down one last time. So you can drop the hips evenly. So Amy, you need to just kind of go like that with your upper torso. Yeah, so your hips can drop. And then press the hips up, release the arms. Big back bend. Open them up like wings. Palms towards the sky, jazz hands. Inhale back up, exhale forearm press, back to sumo squat. So you guys kind of got the idea with the side to side, the twists, the lunges. I'm going to show you one more lunge that I like to do, which is the forward lunge. We did this yesterday as well. So whenever I want to take a break, I come through sumo squat. I'm going to heel toe the feet together, press the legs straight, pick the right knee up and shoot it back. So a forward lunge. Walk the front foot forward enough so your knee can track right over the ankle. It's more comfortable if we stay on the mat. Just a little hint. Now, this is the last one we're going to do and take a break with the arms. So we're going to inhale and press strongly the forearms down. Chest points up towards the sky. Gaze is back. And we come into almost like a half camel. So feel the big stretch through the belly in the psoas here. More so than normal in a forward lunge. We can lean back into it. Exhale, come back down and just pause. So tuck your toes under in the back. Let's just try the other variation. So we're going to lift the back knee and press the front leg straight. Just try it. So forearm press if you can. Inhale, lift. And then straighten the front leg and lean back. It's a big quad stretch. Your head is going towards your back heel. Exhale, come on down and rest. Ooh, that's a big one, right? Inhale, straighten both legs. Let's change sides. Pause here. Whenever I pause, I like to drop because I like the hamstring stretch. Press the hips up, shoot the left knee back. Walk the right foot forward. Lunge. So wiggle it in, right? Get comfortable. And then inhale, press the forearms. So the first one is a big belly stretch, so the knee stays down. Lean back as far as you can. Try to get the heart to, like a headlamp, put it up towards the sky. Heart lit. And so come on back down. Do you guys feel that? Like so deep through belly, quad, psoas. Okay, now we're going to lift the back knee and press the front leg straight. Much bigger expression. I push the arms straight, and my head is leaning back towards my foot. Now, if anybody likes to balance, you can actually reach your hands back behind you as well. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Big stretch. Okay? Straighten out both legs. So anybody need to repeat any of those sequences? Has everybody got that? Okay. Let's just